Do you own a dog, cat, bird, or other pet? Did you know that many homeowners and renters policies don't cover animal or pet liability claims, so you may be held liable if an incident, accident, or claim occurs? At X Insurance, we provide customized liability insurance coverage for any animal or pet regardless of type, size, age, or bite history. X Insurance provides third-party liability coverage for injuries or property damage done to others by your pet. An X Insurance policy will fill the gaps in your homeowners or renters coverage and provide the protection you need for true peace of mind to protect your assets. X Insurance offers 30-plus years of professional experience, providing solutions for many types of specialty risks in all 50 states. If you own an ATV, electric scooter, golf cart, etc., then we've got you covered. Visit xinsurance.com or call 877-585-2853 today to learn more or to get a free quote.
Welcome to Welcome Home Doggy. I'm Arianna Lasha, and today I'll be speaking with Dr. Dorsey from the Atlanta Humane Society on what she's doing for the animal community. Dr. Dorsey, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're really excited about your interview.
Well, thank you, Arianna. It's my privilege to be here.
So, can you just take us from the beginning? What is Atlanta Humane Society?
Well, the Atlanta Humane Society is one of Atlanta's oldest charities. We are a no-kill animal shelter, and we have 3 campuses with our primary mission of being to improve the state of animal welfare in the Southeast. And we do that through a host of initiatives and preventive measures. We do that through education and community outreach. So we are a shelter that is looking out for the interests of animals in Georgia and the Southeast.
Do you have any specific programs as far as community initiatives go?
Well, we have a lot of programs, and I think probably the one that people are most familiar with is our adoption program. That's the one that, when you think of Atlanta Humane Society, you think, oh, well, I adopted a dog from there, or many people do. But we also have an extensive outreach program where we are providing preventive services like pet vaccination clinics to animals in the community. We offer food to people, pet food to people who may need that service. And we also have the opportunity to collaborate with other groups. We engage in legislative advocacy at the Capitol and various other civic organizations. We have an animal protection unit whereby we are able to help out in cases of emergencies and animal rescues. So we have a host of programs that we provide to the community.
And so I know that you are the Vice President of Community Education and Advocacy. So take us through your journey as far as education goes. How did you end up with that big title?
Well, that's interesting. It was really a very roundabout means to an end because I started out as a secretary working at an engineering firm, but I had the weekends off, and so I went to the Atlanta Humane Society to just take a look, and I saw people who were volunteering, and I also had the opportunity to see a veterinarian in action, and when I saw that, a veterinarian doing day-to-day activities, I was hooked, and I felt like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is work for animals. And so I went to school at Tuskegee University, where I graduated from with a doctorate degree in veterinary medicine. I went on to get a master's degree in public health, and then I was able to land my dream job at the Atlanta Humane Society, the organization who first gave me my introduction to what it means to work on behalf of animals. And I started out as an associate veterinarian, and over time was promoted to become the Director of Medical Services. I practiced for 18 years in our community hospital, and now I am the Vice President of Community Education and Advocacy, where a good bit of my work is to not just focus on individual relationships, but larger relationships that involve communities and community leaders and city, county, and also state legislators as well. So it's been a nearly 24-year kind of process to start as a volunteer and ultimately become the Vice President of Community Education and Advocacy.
So what would you say is the most profound thing about working at an animal shelter? And you can tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, the best, the worst. Like, what is it like working at an animal shelter?
Oh, it is so many things. It is, number one, gratifying, because who couldn't love cute little furry faces that you get to see every day? When I was a veterinarian practicing, I found it interesting to manage a variety of medical and surgical cases and even emergencies. As a person who's involved in community outreach, I think advocacy is important, and that's challenging because it involves fostering trust with a lot of different people. And then finally, I think that part of what it's like to work at an animal shelter is emotionally tumultuous, because what we know is that animals still live in unfortunate, sometimes inhumane circumstances, and that's difficult, but it's kind of a tireless effort to make sure that we're doing our best to answer the call and to address and meet as many needs as we can.
So you spoke about the Atlanta Humane Society being known for adoption. So can you kind of take us what that adoption process looks like? How easy or hard is it to actually adopt?
Well, it's not particularly hard, and I think one of the good things is that we have transitioned into virtual adoptions. So every animal that is available for adoption at our 3 campuses are found or can be found on our website, atlantahumane.org. And so you can go there, look at the pictures, learn something about their backgrounds. And for those animals who are in foster care, you have the opportunity to reach out to that foster person and make an appointment to come and spend some time with the animal. And then we have now resumed the in-person adoptions at our 3 campuses. And so that is now by appointment. But it's relatively easy process. You select the animal that you're most interested in. You fill out application for that particular one. There's the meet and greet period, and then if you feel like this is the one, then you sign on the dotted line, and voila, you have a new pet.
So which pets or animals are rescued and adopted the most? Are there any, or is it kind of like an even mix?
I think it's probably an even mix, but it's very likely that dogs might have a slight edge because they tend to be a little bit more engaging with us outside of the home. But cats are still, very much in the mix and still popular as well.
Cats will always be second place to dogs to me personally, but talk to us about why it's important to adopt and not shop.
Well, it's important because you are supporting the efforts of shelters like the Atlanta Humane Society, but when you shop or perhaps make a purchase from a pet store, then you may be supporting the efforts of operations that are engaged in puppy mill-like activity, where they house large numbers of adult animals for breeding purposes, to produce lots of puppies and kittens that can enter the community through pet stores. And so it's an issue where you're actually being very supportive of the efforts of nonprofit organizations and rescues and groups like the Atlanta Humane Society.
So that seems like it's a lot of moving parts with that. It can definitely be a heavy topic. And speaking of heavy topics, we know that nobody has been exempt from the COVID-19 pandemic and the effects that have been brought on with it. So how has that affected the Atlanta Humane Society? How have you guys been transitioning?
Well, I have to say, I think we transitioned excellently in that once we made the decision to follow all of the directions that were given for sheltering in place, we were able to place nearly 200 animals into foster homes. There were a few animals that stayed in the shelter, but we were able to have staff who could come in on a daily basis and be there and take care of their needs. But if there's any beauty that came out of COVID is that we learned that we can pivot and think and act strategically and still have meaningful experiences for the animals. And I'm just in awe of being able to place more than 200 animals in a foster home so that they didn't really miss a beat.
Aww.
And they got to have families, ready-made families as well.
So that's a happy note.
Yes.
And speaking of like other happy notes, like volunteers, are you guys still accepting volunteers? How can people become involved even during this time?
Well, we have a very large volunteer contingent. They aren't always coming in every day as they once did, but we do have those volunteers who will come in daily to help with walking the dogs and exercising them and helping with other aspects of the operation. So it will be a matter of completing an application online and making a plan to be a part of whatever orientations that are set up so that you learn about the organization and the various and different areas in which volunteers are able to work. But yeah, I have to say I'm so grateful that we are still able to have a volunteer effort, because it's near and dear to my heart, because I personally started out as a volunteer at the Atlanta Humane Society, and to know that there are people who still are interested in helping out and lending their time just means everything to us as relates to making our organization continue to operate with the level of excellence that we believe is so important.
And you started as a volunteer at this organization, and now you're a VP. So, I mean, that just goes to show you what networking and opportunities that can come from volunteering. Speaking of, like, does the Atlanta Humane Society partner with any outside organizations, and what are you guys doing to kind of give back to the community? Well,
we partner with other organizations at every opportunity. For instance, I am a member of the board of Pause Between Homes, and that's an organization that provides foster homes for the pets of people who may be facing housing insecurity as a result of COVID-19 or evictions, or not being able to afford to remain in their homes. We work with Lifeline Animal Project, Planned Parenthood, so that we can continue to provide low-cost spay-neuter services. So we do that at every opportunity.
And you being very involved, like with the community, you said you've been working in this field for over 25 years, and you've partnered with many different organizations. What do you want to see? What kind of changes would you like to see or be implemented into the animal welfare community?
Well, I think that there's so many, but what I would say is as we speak now, Ariana, there are still so many animals who are living in inhumane and deplorable conditions. And what they are waiting for people like us, people who care to come and rescue them. And what is important is that when these groups of animals are identified, that all of the people who care can engage in whatever way they can engage, whether it is donating to support the effort, whether it is volunteering to come and help them once they've been rescued, because many times they need baths and haircuts and they need TLC and veterinary care as well. But also people can get involved by advocating for animals, by calling your legislators and letting them know about the animal related issues that we as concerned citizens care about. And then the other thing that I think is important is that we influence our family and friends to join us in these efforts. And for parents who have children, I think it's always important to help children to respect animals and act humanely towards them. So there is something for everybody that we can do to help this cause, but they need us to rally in one way or another.
And you brought up a good point about something for everybody. So say I'm in school, I don't necessarily want to become a veterinarian or a dog groomer. What other jobs are there for me out there besides, those two options if I really have a passion for animals? Because, you're a VP at your company, not a practicing vet at the moment, but what other opportunities are out there for people?
There are many. For instance, we have a director of communications who is very much involved in public relations and making sure that we tell the stories of the rescues and the animals who have been helped by those rescues. We have directors who are involved with employee relations. We have human resources. We have a marketing department. The number of jobs that are available in animal welfare are very diverse and very much support oriented as well as leadership oriented. So I would say that any position that you can find in the private sector, there is a comparable or similar position that is can be found in animal welfare.
We'll be right back after this quick break, so stay with us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
So, Dr. Dorsey, we were talking about animals and rescues, and as a part of an organization that focuses so much on rescues, do you have any memorable stories that you were part of yourself?
Oh, there are so many. I have been a part of rescue efforts for hoarding situations, for puppy mill situations, and even for dog fighting as well. And all of those, again, are really heart-tugging kinds of situations to be a part of. But a couple of atypical rescues that I was involved in. One was we rescued 6 bears from a roadside zoo. And I was able to travel with those bears to an animal sanctuary in Colorado, and to just know that they were going to be taken care of in safety for the rest of their lives was a great experience. There were 2 cubs, 2 juvenile bears, and 2 adult females, one of whom was pregnant. And it was really great to be a part of that. And then I got to travel to California and help out with an operation that involved 5,000 rats that were being bred at an animal breeding facility. And so those are really atypical, and I'm grateful for every one of them because it was just a really wonderful way for me to just be a part of something that I thought was important as it relates to making life better for animals.
Do you have any rescues of your own?
Well, I have one cat that I adopted from the Atlanta Humane Society. He's 18 years old. His name is Rocco, and I love him very much. He is very much a part of our family, and he loves to hang out with us. And I think as much as anything, he typifies the fact that cats are a whole lot more affectionate than they get credit for. But yeah, I'm the one who only has the one pet.
Well, the good news is if anybody is interested in adopting, looking for rescue, they can head on over to the Atlanta Humane Society.
That is correct.
Dr. Dorsey, thank you so much for being here with us today. For more information on our guest and today's show, visit our website, Welcome Home Doggy. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell. Leave us a comment below because we want to hear from you. That's all for now. I've been Arianna, and this is Welcome Home Doggy.
Do you own a dog, cat, bird, or other pet? Did you know that many homeowners and renters policies don't cover animal or pet liability claims, so you may be held liable if an incident, accident, or claim occurs? At X Insurance, we provide customized liability insurance coverage for any animal or pet regardless of type, size, age, or bite history. X Insurance provides third-party liability coverage for injuries or property damage done to others by your pet. An X Insurance policy will fill the gaps in your homeowner's or renter's coverage and provide the protection you need for true peace of mind to protect your assets. X Insurance offers 30-plus years of professional experience, providing solutions for many types of specialty risks in all 50 states. If you own an ATV, electric scooter, golf cart, etc., then we've got you covered. Visit xinsurance.com or call 877-585-2853 today to learn more or to get a free quote.